Nobody told Sorrow the kittens weren't coming back. That's the part that wrecked Sarah the most. Standing in the doorway, watching her cat pace the same corner of the bedroom for the 4th day in a row, calling out in a low, broken sound that didn't sound anything like a normal meow. It sounded like a question. The same question, over and over, to a room that had no answer left to give. Sorrow was a 3-year-old Russian blue mix, all soft gray fur and wide yellow-green eyes that had always carried a kind of quiet intensity to them. She'd had 4 kittens 6 weeks earlier, healthy, loud, demanding little things that had completely taken over Sarah's spare bedroom. Sorrow had been extraordinary with them. Attentive, patient, never more than a few inches away. She'd groomed them constantly, tucked them against her body at night, repositioned herself every time one of them squirmed to the edge. She was, by every measure, a natural. When the kittens went to their new homes, all on the same Saturday, Sarah had done everything she'd read about. Gave it time, kept Sorrow's routine steady, kept the house calm. Veterinarians said most cats adjust within a few days, that the maternal instinct fades, that they move on. Sorrow didn't move on. She searched, quietly, methodically, with a focus that was almost unbearable to watch. She checked under the bed, behind the dresser, inside the closet that Sarah had left cracked open by accident. She'd walk in, sniff every corner, walk back out, and start again. Her food bowl stayed half full. She slept in short, restless stretches. And she kept making that sound. If you've ever watched an animal grieve something it can't name or explain, if you've ever sat with a creature that's searching for something it doesn't know how to stop looking for, then you already understand why Sarah was sitting on her kitchen floor crying at 11 o'clock on a Tuesday night. Subscribe right now, because what Sorrow does next is the kind of thing that makes you rethink everything you think you know about how animals feel. Sarah didn't plan it. She'd been at the drugstore picking up a few things when she walked past the small pet aisle near the checkout. There was a bin of clearance cat toys, the cheap kind, stuffed and stitched, nothing special. A little green and red plush thing caught her eye. She didn't even really think about it. Dropped it in her basket along with her shampoo and her vitamins, brought it home, set it on the floor near Sorrow's bed almost as an afterthought. The price tag was still on it. Sorrow was across the room when Sarah set it down. She watched, didn't move for a long moment. Then she stood up slowly, crossed the room, and lowered her nose to the toy. She sniffed it once, twice. Then she picked it up, gently, carefully, the way she used to carry her kittens, and she carried it to her bed. Sarah stood completely still. Sorrow set the toy down, circled it once, then lay down beside it and tucked it close against her chest with her front paws. She looked up at Sarah with those wide, serious eyes, then looked back down at the toy, and she started to purr. That purr did something to Sarah she wasn't prepared for, because it wasn't the bright, easy purr of a cat being petted or a cat settling in for a nap. It was slower, heavier, the kind of sound you make when something that's been wound too tight finally gets permission to loosen just a little, just enough to breathe. Sarah sat down on the floor right there and didn't move for a long time. Sarah posted the video that night without really thinking about it. Just a quiet clip of Sorrow lying on her bed, that little green toy tucked against her, the price tag still dangling off it like some absurd detail that made the whole thing feel more real somehow. The caption was simple. She lost her babies last week. She found this toy today. She hasn't put it down. By morning, it had 100,000 views. By the end of the week, she'd stopped counting. The comments hit Sarah harder than the views did. People from everywhere writing things like, "I wasn't ready for this," and "I had to explain to my husband why I was crying at my phone." Veterinary behaviorists chimed in. Yes, cats experience grief. Yes, maternal bonds are real and complex. Yes, what Sorrow was doing had a name, and it mattered. But what got Sarah most was a comment from a woman in Ohio who wrote, My cat did the same thing after we lost a litter. We thought she was broken. She wasn't. She just needed something to love. That sentence stayed with Sarah for days, because it wasn't just about sorrow, was it? It was about every creature, human or not, that's ever lost something and gone quiet, trying to figure out how to keep going. Sometimes you don't need answers. Sometimes you just need something small enough to hold. Sorrow still carries the toy. Weeks later, it's become her constant. She brings it to her food bowl sometimes, sets it nearby while she eats. She carries it to the window in the afternoon when the sun comes through. Some mornings, Sarah wakes up to find it placed carefully on the pillow beside her. Sorrow's version of sharing something precious. If you've ever had something you loved so much you needed someone else to know about it, you already understand exactly what Sorrow is doing in those moments. The price tag finally fell off on its own sometime in the second week. By then, it didn't matter. The toy had become something else entirely, not a clearance bin find anymore, something Sorrow had decided meant something. Something she'd chosen, in the quiet logic of her own grief, to hold on to. Sarah tried to take it once, gently, just to wash it. Sorrow followed her all the way to the laundry room and sat outside the door the entire cycle. When Sarah handed it back, Sorrow grabbed it immediately, carried it back to her bed, and didn't let it out of her sight for the rest of the day. You don't take a mother's comfort object. Sarah knew that now. Cats don't have the words. They can't tell you what they're carrying or how heavy it is. They can't explain that the corner they keep checking still smells like something they loved, or that the silence in a room that used to be full of sound is a specific kind of ache they don't know how to put down. But Sorrow found a way to say it. With a $3 toy from a clearance bin, price tag still on, she told everyone who watched exactly what she needed. Not to forget, not to move on, just something small to hold on to, something to carry through the days until the days got easier. Here's what I haven't been able to stop thinking about since Sarah first shared that video. Sorrow chose that toy. Out of everything in that room, she picked it up, carried it to her bed, and decided it was worth keeping. And maybe that's the thing nobody tells you about grief. It doesn't always look like crying. Sometimes it looks like a gray cat on a rug, one paw resting gently on a $3 toy, guarding the only piece of something she can't get back. So, tell me, have you ever watched an animal grieve? Did they find their own way through it? Drop it in the comments. I want to know.